Champagne, the drink of celebration and victory shared by many throughout the world. While staying in Paris, we wanted to take a day trip to the region to learn more about one of our favorite beverages. There's a quick train from Paris directly to Reims, which is the center of the Champagne region. So let's pop a bottle, pour a glass, and say cheers to exploring one of the world's best wine regions. Hi, I'm Matt.
And I'm Rach.
For years now, we've enjoyed traveling the world together, near and far.
Whether it's creating lifelong memories, diving into distant cultures of the world, or just satisfying our craving to go somewhere new.
We invite you to come along to experience life's journey with us. All right, it is 7:35. We got our Uber right here. Hello. Rachel. Today, new day.
Yep.
We're heading to
Reims,
or as you would maybe pronounce it, Reims or Reims. Very historical French city, about 90 miles east-northeast of Paris. And it is famous for one thing, and what is that?
Champagne.
That's right.
And also the cathedral.
Yes. We'll talk more about that when we get there.
Yeah.
Still waiting to know what our platform is.
We got here a little early.
Yeah.
We just didn't know.
Don't want to be late.
Yeah.
It is really good to be back in train stations, though.
Yes.
In Europe. It just has a different feel to it. I like it.
Everywhere you go,
Health pass.
you got your health pass. Well, not stores, because you're not taking your mask off. Any public transportation,
Restaurant,
any
bar.
restaurant, bar, you scan your health pass. Right?
Yep. So this should be about a 47-minute train ride, which isn't too bad.
Yeah.
That's why we're just taking the day to go there and come back and explore the city of Reims and try some excellent champagne. I am excited.
Me too.
Traveling by train in France is efficient, inexpensive, reliable, and you can pretty much go just about anywhere in the country. You can even bring your own food and drinks on board, which I love.
Avant de descendre, merci de ne rien laisser à votre place. Pour votre sécurité, prenez garde à l'espace entre le marchepied et le quai. Nous vous rappelons que la descente TGV s'effectue à quai et à l'arrêt du TGV. Au nom de l'équipe TGV Nuit, je vous remercie de votre confiance et vous souhaite une agréable journée. La gare de Reims, le terminus de notre train.
Rach reserved us a morning tasting as well as an afternoon tasting. And you'll need to make reservations if you're coming here ahead of time to get the full experience. Our first one starts soon, so once we get off this train, we really need to hurry. So what time is it right now?
It is 9:19.
9:19. What time's our tasting?
9:45.
9:45. All right, we gotta get going.
It's not far though.
Yeah. Reims. Yeah, I almost got out of there. I thought it was an Uber. Rachel's like, you gotta pay. But we're here at Lenson. Yep. So this is our first of 2 champagne tastings today. And this champagne house was founded in 1760. It's one of the first champagne houses, one of the oldest, I should say, in all of Reims and Champagne. Let's go in.
All right. Lanson is a very popular mass-produced champagne that dates back over 250 years. Too bad we could only carry so much with us because the gift shop had some great items.
One thing to know about visiting Champagne is that it is much different than your traditional vineyards like in Napa Valley or Chianti. You're not going to roll up to a chateau or an estate and walk through the vineyards and go to the tasting room and drink out on the back patio. It doesn't work that way. All of the grapes are grown in the surrounding areas here, often in different parcels, and then brought to the houses in the towns, underneath, into the chalk caves, and then all the magic happens there, which we'll see. One interesting thing to note about Lanson is that the vast majority of their exports are actually to the UK. In fact, they are the official champagne supplier for Wimbledon.
Our guide took us out back to show us something very interesting. They actually have a small vineyard here in the city, which only they can claim.
So this produces 5,000 bottles?
Yeah,
A year?
more or less.
Okay.
Just this year.
Just this area, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Usually in Champagne, with 1 hectare of vine, you produce 8,600 bottles. This is an average. As Loco is a bit older, one plot is 60 years old and the other 30 years old. So it produces a bit less, after 30 years old.
Right.
Yeah. And it's organic as well, so the yield will be a bit low.
Being able to walk the grounds here and see the fermentation tanks and understand the process, taking in all the smells, allows you to better appreciate champagne. And every time you take a sip, this is something you're going to think about. Other than trying the actual champagne, what we love most about these houses are the countless chalk caves under the city where the champagne is stored. It truly is a maze, and you can easily get lost if you don't know where you're going.
These caves, some often dating back to the ancient Romans, provide absolutely perfect conditions for the aging process.
What we call the riddling, which consists to turn the bottle right and left 1/4 and progressively.
At every champagne house, you'll find a spot where they keep bottles from their prized vintages of the past. Lanson has a really impressive one and actually has bottles dating back to the early 1900s, which actually you could still drink. The city of Reims was a battleground forefront in World War I, which left its citizens no choice but to move themselves into these underground caves for safety between the years of 1914 and 1918. Those staying in these caves prayed to this very statue of the Virgin Mary for their safety every day. Pretty neat to see.
And at the end of every tour comes the fun part, actually getting to taste the final product.
But in the rosé version, it's a bit more glamorous. So concerning the style, it's really fresh, like a bit more focus on the red fruit aromas because of the red wine as well. And this is
After trying the white, we then tried the rosé, which is really our favorite. Both were fantastic. However, she then brought out another bottle, which we didn't expect, and we thought it was actually the best of all three.
Completely different from the black label, but it's a kind of
Had to buy a bottle of that last. It's 40 euros, which is about $45.
It was 40 euros.
Yeah, $45 for this black label.
That's like, is that their signature?
I'm either gonna take it home or drink it. We'll see. Yeah, we might take it home. But we are looking to go somewhere for lunch.
Different than what I had. So.
Yeah. Got a little bit of a walk into town. So this is Reims, whatever you want to call it. The girl at the tasting, I asked her, I said, how do you pronounce it? And she said it a few times for us. I'm never going to be able to pronounce it. It's such a short word, and it was like, I just won't. So we'll just call it Reims.
Yeah.
Reims dates back to the Roman times, which was actually founded by the Gauls. It has a population of just under 200,000 and is obviously known for champagne, but also their famous cathedral, which we will be checking out a little bit later.
We were extremely hungry, especially after that tasting, and we found a well-known French restaurant chain right in the middle of town, of all places.
So $10 here for a glass of rosé champagne. It's pretty good, since we're in Champagne. Have to go with the flam and the risotto.
With Italian ham.
Italian ham, cheese, risotto. Bon appetit. The crispy thin pizza was just what I needed to fill my stomach. And for a chain restaurant here in France, I'll tell you what, it really wasn't bad. Definitely a lot better than a lot of chain restaurants we have in the US. Behind me is the cathedral here in Reims. So a lot of history here. This cathedral was built in the 1200s, and it has seen a lot of history for 1,000 years. It was the coronation spot of all of the French kings. So whenever they would coronate a king here in France, this is where it would take place. Now, this area here, specifically Reims, was very central part of World War I. And unfortunately, the Germans came in and occupied this town in the summer of 1914. It didn't last long, but then they left and they covered the hills. And they started a bombardment, I guess you could say, on the town. And unfortunately, that cathedral was very badly damaged from German fire. And this became a propaganda move for the French, because they said, well, how dare they, bomb our cathedral? And, it's against the law of war. Well, the Germans had their side of the story, needless to say, but they used that as a boost to fight the Germans and create a narrative against them the rest of the 4 years. A lot of destruction here in town during World War I and even World War II, but just an amazing historical place here in France.
After walking through the cathedral, which is free to enter and needless to say, so impressive, we wanted to quickly check out the Christmas market that was opening soon out front before our next tasting.
All right, the last champagne of the day, GH Mum. Here we are. Wrong building. That was the admin offices. After the confusion and arriving a few minutes late, we immediately joined the group tour and began with an interactive tutorial of the terroirs around the region that GH Mum uses for their grape harvest. This is another mass-produced champagne here in the region, and you can often find it in the US on your local liquor store shelf.
What you can also see is below you have the capacity, the liters, so there's about 3,000 liters on that side, and the biggest ones more than 8,000 liters. So they're really huge barrels. And the Maison Moon was the first house to use such big container. So what we'll do, we'll just go and have a look inside at the last two vats.
These concrete vats are no longer in use, but very interesting to see. Imagine climbing in there to clean them.
And just like our visit to Lanson, we toured the underground caves here, which seem to stretch even further every direction you look.
You see there, it's from 1893. So what do you think? What does it inspire you? Not much? You maybe wonder how it tastes like, no?
Yeah.
Well, we won't be tasting now, sorry. But it is supposed to be still good, even after so many years, because the yeast is still inside. We did not finish the whole process. That's why they're kept upside down with the yeast, and then it carries on aging. It's still aging. And if we were to taste now, really, it's not champagne as you are used to drink champagne. Okay, you don't have the same bubbliness, you don't have the same freshness, but it's still good to drink. It's like wine, old wine.
One thing that we really liked about this particular tour was the small museum of champagne tools and artifacts from the past. GH Mum really were innovators in many ways in this industry, such as being the first producers to use metal caps in their aging process, which now everybody does.
Four letters. So RSRV means reserved. Those champagnes are only available here. really. So it's a good opportunity for you to try them. They are Grand Cru only, 100% because we use Moon vineyards. We select our best vineyard, really. The first one you have is Blanc de Blanc. So you know Blanc de Blanc, what it means?
100% Chardonnay.
100% Chardonnay. Exactly. Yep. Here it's not any Chardonnay. We've selected Chardonnay from Cramant. Cramant is in the Côte des Blancs, south of Epernay. So it brings a lot of minerality in the wine. You will see it's very fresh, it's very smooth. Alors, this one is also a vintage. Okay, so it's only one harvest, the harvest 2014. We leave this champagne in our cellar 3 years, not too long, because we want to keep it young and fresh. It's the perfect champagne for aperitif, to enjoy with oysters, for example. Platter of seafood also would be great, or cheese, but goat cheese preferably. It's brut, of course, so it's a low dosage of 6 grams of sugar per liter. And you will notice also probably there is less pressure. The bubble will be very subtle. That's normal. We purposely provoke less pressure to have something very smooth.
That's good.
Pretty good, huh? If you come here, definitely pay extra for the reserve tasting. It's well worth it.
In our Grand Cru, in our vineyard, the 12 best grapes. Vintage 2006. Okay, it's a while ago. So I'll let you discover it and you tell me what you think of it. Well, this one is true. It's not really champagne for aperitif that you would drink on its own. You know,
That's probably what with food. That's one.
With food, with
like
poultry, even cheese, like strong cheese. Something. It has to be something tasty because the wine is very tasty. So to appreciate like that on its own, maybe a bit difficult, really. Accessible champagne.
So, and these champagnes you can only buy here.
Only here.
Wow.
Only here. It's reserved.
All right, we did some more damage to the wallet. Now we got to get an Uber. We got to hurry back and get this train. What a cool little town, huh? Wish we could spend more time here. This was
if I would have known.
really a short stop and stay, and there's a lot of other things that we didn't see.
I think maybe I'd come back and go to one champagne house and just like hang out.
Yeah.
Especially between this time of year for market there.
Reims. Reims.
We go through the park.
Yeah.
So we had an amazing day in the Champagne region, France.
Yeah, we did.
In the city of Reims, or as we would probably call it, Reims.
Reims.
But yeah, it's a nice day.
Great day trip from Paris.
Yes, it is. 47-minute train ride, direct.
Yeah. Quick, easy, get on, get off. Doesn't get much easier than that. All right. All right. We don't know where our seats are, but there's nobody here. So we're just gonna.
Want to go back?
No, I think we'll just sit here. Someone kicks us out, they'll kick us out. We'll move somewhere else. It leaves in what? 8 minutes? I ain't gonna be people coming in here in 8 minutes. No, it'd have to be that way. We came in this way. I don't even know where we're going. Back in Paris.